Hello everybody, this is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. Not done a video for a while, but I just thought I'd just do a quick video. I've been really busy. I mean, we've moved more over to doing restoration of, it's just a lot more restoration than anything we're doing now. Obviously we're still doing service and repairs and things on antique and vintage clocks, but more so now we're getting asked to do more and more restoration, which is a lot more involved. There's a lot of casework and, you know, pretty much a lot more dial restoration, resilvering, repainting, pretty much everything like that comes along with restoration. Some casework. Unfortunately, we're not really set up to do any large casework. We've got some more do just it's more the mantle clocks and the bracket clocks and obviously carriage clocks and stuff like that, things we can really handle with ease and, you know, get them done and get them back to the customer, or the customer come and collects. Anyway, the main subject of this video is my new lathe. I actually got rid of the Drummond. I actually sold it to a nice guy over the water from me. I was quite happy what he was going to do for it. I know really it's not my situation. He's buying it from me and I'm selling it, so really I've got no real say in that. But it was nice to listen to what he was saying, and it was going to get used for what it was going to get used for, making small parts. He runs an engineering company and he does repairs to hydraulics and things, and he was going to use it to make small parts. So yeah, it's still going to be in use, and he was really happy with it, and you know, it was really what he wanted. He didn't want something too big, and it fitted his needs perfectly. Anyway, getting back to where we are, I picked up this MyFord Super 7. Now, I've always wanted a MyFord Super 7, but I've never been able to sort of get hold of one really at a decent price. Anyway, this one come along, and I picked this up in Derby. Now, the guy I bought it from, his father-in-law was a retired clockmaker, and when I went there, I could actually see the guy was a clockmaker. I mean, a lot of the tooling he had other lathes as well, pultras and one thing and another, which I said I was always interested in. So maybe in the future he's going to get in touch with me and we can have a look at that. Anyway, back to our Super 7. Okay, the Super 7, pretty much it needed a clean up, because it hadn't run for many years, but now it runs pretty well. It had the quick change tool post, as we can see there, and he's got a 3-jaw lathe chuck on a plate, which runs well. At first I didn't think it was running straight, or, you know, concentric. I thought I could see, but as you can see, I've got a dial gauge. I put my dial gauge on, and you know, it's running pretty true. It's you know, it's really good actually, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't have expected anything more from this guy. I mean, I've seen some of the bits and pieces he'd been making, and you can see there's a lot of telltale signs on the bed, you know, of it actually. He gave me quite a few bits and pieces with it, and there's a lot of telltale signs as regards like little saw, you know, he's been obviously doing some wheel cutting and things like that. He'd actually fitted at some point a 3-phase motor to it, and with a like a variable speed 3-phase motor. But to be honest with you, I don't think he tested it afterwards, and you know, it just wasn't running right for me. And you know, so I got a conventional motor and I put that on, and we're just using the gears. Obviously we have the, you know, the belt change situation. I cut the old belt off. I actually had to change that clutch assembly at the top there. You know, that obviously, you know, engages the gearing, it gauges the belt, and it works that way. It was really noisy. I managed to get one off a firm up in Doncaster, and they sent that to me, so I changed that, and you know, now it works pretty well now. I think if we just switch it on, sounds pretty nice. I haven't run it at all for a while, to be honest with you. I still more so use me little Pultra, not Pultra, it's a Peerless, a watchmaker's lathe, and I use that little micro lathe. I had a problem with that micro lathe. It wouldn't sort of start. It was very intermittently starting, and what it was the actual pot, you know, the 10k pot on it, I think it is, or 4.7k pot. I changed that, and that seems to have solved the problem. I was a bit worried about it. I thought, there's another £500 down the drain, but you know, there you go. And there was, as I say, there was a bit of tooling with this. There was obviously the quick change tool post is there. Is, you know, some of the holders, the tool holders. There was a 4-jaw chuck. There was, I think some of that other stuff's mine actually, but I think we had the rotating centre, and we had a chuck, and also he had a you know, when you're drilling a centre hole, it's gone completely out of my mind. You know, it starts it off where it gives you a little divot, if you like, for you to, you know, to start your drill, because if you start your drill straight on a piece of metal as it's spinning, it won't be on centre, you know, and it's really important obviously that it's on centre, because that's the whole point, isn't it, of having a you know, drilling through centre of pinions and things like that. So, you know, it needs to be on centre. The cross slide on it is the larger type, because it's a Super 7. Obviously on the MyFord 7 it's a shorter cross slide, but on this it's the longer cross slide. And as I say, everything is quite accurate. You know, I'm really happy. I wasn't at first. I'm being honest with you, I thought to myself, you know, I'd have probably been better spending another £1,000 and getting something pretty much done. I mean, that may prove to be the case in the end. I mean, the clutch assembly is not the quietest one in the world, but maybe I'll be able to service that at some point. You know, you can pick up the bits and pieces to do them, but I don't know. I'll see what happens on that. I might devise another way of doing things. It came with the cabinet, which is, you know, it's relatively heavy. It's not totally solid. It's relatively heavy compared to the biscuit tin type you get on the modern lathes, which, you know, I find to be okay, providing everything's bolted down properly and it's bolted to the floor and things like that. But other than that, I think that I don't think they're great. That's why obviously you're getting people calling them biscuit tins. I'm going to do a few more videos on this lathe. I mean, obviously, it's got your sort of gear ratios for wheel cut there, for cutting threads, and you know, things like that. And as I say, everything pretty much runs on it as it should do. It actually come also with a drip tray, an oiler. This thing pops up here, and it'd have a water tank down below in this cupboard section there. And then, you know, oil would pump up, and then all the waste oil would go into this tray and then go down back into that thing. And obviously it's got a filter on it, and that filters the oil coming up. But yeah, as I say, MyFord Super 7. I was after a Super 7 at one time many years ago, and I actually know where it is, and it belonged to another clock restorer, quite a famous clock restorer in the St Helens area. And it's actually a really beautiful MyFord 7, and it'd been tooled up with you know, it's to wheel cutting facilities. It had pretty much everything, and I said to the guy I'd buy it. I didn't make offers. I wasn't interested in offer. I just wanted the lathe. I just said to him, you tell me what you want and I'll give you the money and I'll go, and that'll be it. I wasn't going to negotiate or do a dance. That was what was going to happen. But for some reason, he's not selling it, even though he's got 4 other lathes. So I don't quite understand that one. Just playing a bit hard to get with me, I think. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much the MyFord 7 that replaced me Drummond. And as I say, this is in my smaller workshop cum shed. And as you go around, you can see I've been doing a bit of messing around with a few things. We have our grinding wheels there and a polisher there. But that's pretty much it, really. on that particular lathe. As I say, we've been really busy lately. I'll just show you around. It's pretty much as you've possibly seen before. Yeah, we've been really busy lately doing some restoration. Thankfully, I mean, it went quiet and then it's perked up again. So that's a good thing. Oh yeah, I've already had some sort of oh yeah, while I mention it, it's actually got the facility a milling attachment to go on the bigger bed. Obviously it's better on that bigger bed. I mean, you probably can only do about 30mm, whichever it was, but with it being with us mainly making anything to do with clocks, it's going to be enough for us. That it's not the most ideal. I got rid of my mill with the lathe. I thought, you know, it's a bit, I don't really need it, to be honest with you. I mean, I really don't need it. It would have been more handy if we were going to do some wheel cutting, but being honest with you, there's not enough call for it for me to even think of setting up. And I mean, probably to set it up properly, you know, you'd probably be looking at a couple of £1,000, I would think. You know, to do that type of stuff. I mean, I've been looking at it. I was looking at going maybe the CNC way with World of Ward stuff, which, you know, I've actually spoke to the guy, and I know I bought a Cowell's lathe many years ago, and off Cranard, he's actually got videos on here, and he can do all that. He's got all that sort of setup with the World of Ward, and it works pretty well. I was very impressed with his workshop. I think he had a Super 7 actually, but I bought a Cowell's, the small Cowell's off him. I'm going back probably 8 years ago now. That's now being sold. I mean, I shouldn't have sold that lathe when I think about it, but there you go. I'll probably be saying the same about every lathe I ever get. It's like anything. I get attached to grandfather clocks and then sell them, and then, you know, have a bad couple of days thinking about them. But, you know, there you go. I mean, I seem to say that about every clock I sell. Sometimes I just get attached to it. I don't know what it is. You just get attached to things that are in your life, I suppose, engineering wise, and tools, and, you know, you spend your life finding them. You get them. You don't really use them much, but then you won't sell them. I mean, it must be a man thing. Must be a man thing. So my better half tells me it's a man thing. You know, she takes me shopping, and I walk around looking at boxes of screws and files that I'm never going to buy because they're absolutely crap. But, you know, while she's shopping, I'm looking at shelving brackets and all kinds of tools and whatever I'm looking at. So there you go. Must be a thing. Anyway, this is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. Just a very short video, nothing special. As I say, hopefully I'm going to try and do a couple more when I get a bit of time, but as I say, I've been absolutely up the wall a little bit lately. Having a few problems with my dogs and one thing and another. You know, they're getting old now, so I just haven't had time, to be honest with you. Anyway, have a great evening. This is John from Clock Repairs Merseyside. And as I say, if you like my videos, please subscribe and give me a like. It's always helps. It shows me that people are actually looking. Or if you want to send me a friendly comment or ask me a friendly question, and I'll do my very best to reply. Anyway, take care. Thank you.